Imagine walking into a church where the chandeliers are made of human bones, the walls are decorated with skulls, and even the family crest of a noble house is sculpted entirely from the remains of the dead. Welcome to the Sedlec Ossuary, a small Roman Catholic chapel beneath the cemetery Church of All Saints in Sedlec, a suburb of Kutna Hora in the Czech Republic. It's one of the most macabre yet fascinating places in the world. This is no horror movie set. This is real, tangible history built on death, faith, artistry, and a truly unique confrontation with mortality. The story of the Sedlec Ossuary begins not with bones but with soil. In the year 1278, the King of Bohemia sent the abbot of the Sedlec Cistercian monastery, Henry, on a mission to the Holy Land. Upon his return, the abbot brought back a handful of soil from Golgotha, the site where Jesus was said to be crucified. He sprinkled it across the abbey's cemetery. The news spread rapidly throughout Central Europe. This small act transformed Sedlec into one of the most desirable burial sites in all of Bohemia. Everyone wanted to be buried in soil touched by the blood of Christ. The cemetery expanded quickly, and burials increased, especially during times of plague and war. In the 14th century, the Black Death swept through Europe like an unstoppable storm. Between the plague and the Hussite wars that followed, tens of thousands of people were buried in the Sedlec cemetery. Estimates say up to 70,000 individuals were laid to rest there. Eventually, the cemetery could no longer contain the overwhelming number of remains. By the early 15th century, the task of organizing the human remains fell to the monks. To make space, many of the bones were exhumed and stored in the crypt beneath the church. Over time, these bones piled up in massive stacks, a charnel house beneath a holy site. But the Sedlec Ossuary was far from finished. Enter František Rint, a woodcarver and artist hired in 1870 by the Schwarzenberg family, who owned the land. His task? To organize the bones into a more aesthetically pleasing display. What he created was something astonishing, a fusion of sacred devotion and macabre artistry. Rint cleaned and bleached every bone and skull using chlorinated lime. Then he began his work. He didn't just stack the bones, he sculpted with them. Skulls were arranged in patterns. Femurs formed pyramids. Pelvises became floral motifs. And hanging above it all was a chandelier that supposedly contains at least one of every bone in the human body. It is a space that defies expectation. It is reverent and respectful, but also eerie and surreal. Death is not hidden here, it is illuminated, displayed, and even celebrated. One of the most famous pieces inside the ossuary is the Schwarzenberg family's coat of arms, rendered entirely from human bones. It's an ornate, detailed sculpture that includes a raven pecking at the eye of a Turk's skull, an image found in the original crest. Why bones? Why make a coat of arms out of skeletons? Perhaps it was a statement of power. Perhaps it was a way to show mastery over death. Or perhaps, in a more spiritual sense, it was a reminder of mortality, a powerful memento mori. Throughout the Middle Ages and into the Baroque period, art and architecture often incorporated the theme of memento mori, Latin for remember that you must die. The idea was not to frighten, but to inspire a more meaningful life in the face of inevitable death. The Sedlec Ossuary is perhaps one of the most literal representations of this idea. Here, death is not hidden away in cemeteries or sealed tombs. It is present, visible, and even beautiful in its own grotesque way. As you walk through the chapel, you are surrounded by thousands of individuals who once lived, breathed, and hoped. Their bones are now part of something eternal. They are both the message and the medium. Rint's work isn't just decorative, it's symbolic. Many of the patterns and shapes echo Christian symbolism. Crosses made of tibias. Hearts built from skulls. Arches created from spines. And then there's the chandelier, the centerpiece. Hanging from the ceiling, it's a testament to both human anatomy and divine craftsmanship. Every type of bone in the human body, suspended in harmony, spinning slowly in the still air. Even the signature of František Rint is made in bone, forever cementing his legacy in the very material he transformed. Today, the Sedlec Ossuary draws more than 200,000 visitors annually. It's been featured in documentaries, travel series, and horror stories. Tourists from around the globe walk its silent halls, craning their necks to see the chandelier, stepping carefully through the archways made of ribs, and taking in the eerie silence. Some come for the novelty. Others come for the art. And some, perhaps without realizing it, come for the spiritual experience, the deep, unsettling feeling that life is fleeting and death, inevitable. Not everyone agrees with the artistic display of human remains. Some critics argue that the ossuary crosses a line, that it turns sacred remains into spectacle. Others see it as a historical artifact, a unique convergence of art and death. The Church has defended the ossuary, noting that it was created with reverence and respect. The bones are not discarded but honored, given a final resting place within a holy space. Restoration efforts are ongoing, ensuring that future generations can witness this singular marvel of human expression and mortality. Stepping into the Sedlec Ossuary is like crossing a threshold between worlds. The exterior of the church is modest. A simple Baroque structure. Nothing prepares you for what's inside. The air is cool and still. A faint scent of stone and time lingers. Light filters through stained glass, casting colors across the skulls. Every corner holds a new surprise, a ribcage archway, a bone cup, a femur cross. It is strangely peaceful. More chapel than catacomb. More sanctuary than grave. The silence is part of the experience. Visitors often whisper. There's a shared understanding, an unspoken reverence. You are surrounded by the dead, and yet you feel more alive. What makes the Sedlec Ossuary so fascinating is not just the bones, but the decision to use them this way. It challenges our perceptions of life and death, of art and respect, of what it means to leave a legacy. The bones here are anonymous. No names. No dates. But together, they create something unforgettable. They become part of a greater whole. A monument not just to death, but to the resilience of faith, the creativity of humanity, and the fragile beauty of existence. Why do we come to places like this? To be shocked? Entertained? Enlightened? The Sedlec Ossuary doesn't offer answers. It offers a mirror. It shows us our mortality, wrapped in art and history. It confronts us with the inescapable fact that we, too, are made of bones, and one day, we may become dust. Or perhaps, part of something beautiful. In a world obsessed with youth and permanence, the Bone Church is a quiet reminder of what truly lasts. Not flesh. Not fame. But perhaps, just perhaps, the story we become a part of.